Okay, this is William Armstrong with a video about the Valve anti-cheat ban system. This is an extended edition that I'm making. Unlike the YouTube short I just uploaded not that long ago today. I'm reading it from Ars Technica. Valve's anti-cheats bans permanent or Valve anti-cheats permanent bans now have one major exception to it. If you just know one thing about Valve's anti-cheat system VAC, you probably know that a ban issued through it lasts forever. As Valve's support page lays out clearly, Valve anti-cheat bans are permanent, non-negotiable, and cannot be removed by Steam support. Now, apparently, there's one sizable exception to this rule, at least when it comes to esports. A post on the Counter-Strike Go blog yesterday notes that some VAC banned players will now be able to participate in events surrounding the game's next regional major rankings RMR season. The CSGO team notes in the post that its event guidelines were initially written around the game's 2012 release, when all CSGO VAC bans were relatively recent. Now, though the team has decided to update those guidelines to reflect the fact that the VAC bans can now be more than 8 years old. As such, VAC bans older than 5 years, as well as VAC bans that predate a player's first participation in a Valve-sponsored event, will no longer be taken into account when assessing the RMR event eligibility. That's a pretty big change for a system whose defining features consequences that are supposed to be permanent and non-negotiable, and those other VAC consequences, including the loss of a player's purchased game library, achievements, tradable vanity items, etc., will still remain in place. The only change is how they influence your eligibility to play in Valve-sponsored events, the blog post notes. Cheater bygones? For years now, Valve's zero-tolerance approach to Valve anti-cheat enforcement has suggested how seriously it takes evidence of cheating in the hundreds of games that use the system. One verified cheating infraction was enough to ruin your in-game credibility across Steam forever, with no exceptions even considered by Valve's enforcement team. When it comes to CSGO esports, the Valve apparently now thinks suitably old evidence of cheating should be considered some sort of useful indiscretion that shouldn't be held against current players. It's a surprisingly stark and specific carve-out for a policy that was previously unavoidable. Some CSGO watchers suspect the rule change might be targeted to affect players like Elias Jampi Olkonen. It's Finnish, and I will butcher that name. But this is a guy that has been caught cheating on Valve. Okay, he's actually Finnish. It's a Finnish Twitch streamer that got caught for cheating and got a VAC ban in Finland. When he was 14 years old, Ulk Conan has claimed that the banned account in question, sorry if I butcher the name that's in Finnish, Ulk Conan has claimed that the banned account in question had been lent to a friend of his at the time of the alleged cheating. He sued Valve in Finland in 2019 over that ban's impact on his professional esports career, including its role in preventing him from signing a contract with Pro Team OG. A Finnish court ruled in favor of Valve in that case last November, and in February, Ulk Conan seemingly gave up on CSGO entirely and signed on with Team Liquid as a pro-level Valorant player, though the CSGO name still appears in his Twitter handle. Thank you everyone who has supported me during my past years in CS. Let's start the new road in Valorant, he wrote at the time. Yesterday, Ulk Conan wrote a Twitter thank you for his officially unbanned status in CSGO. Ulk Conan's father, Petri, added via Twitter that Valve's legal counsel had confirmed to him that due to the time that has expired since the infraction happened, it will no longer affect Elias's eligibility to be invited to a Valve-sponsored esports event. Back in 2016, Ars contributor Rich Stanton wrote in depth about the crowdsourced process used by the CSGO community to reliably identify cheaters. Its process involves multiple experienced human investigators agreeing on recorded evidence of cheating, Stanton writes. It's also a process in which investigators presume the suspect to be innocent and where never being wrong is more important than always being right, Stanton wrote. The surety demanded by the Overwatch system creates a small slice of cases where you're convinced the player's hacking, but you can't say for sure, and if there's any doubt, you have to let it slide, Stanton continued. It is unclear whether this new CSGO policy suggests Valve might further loosen its system of VAT consequences in the future. Update. A Valve representative told Ars Technica via email, "We are just making the changes noted, nothing else is in the work at this time. In any case, this is a very visible crack in a system that previously served as an impenetrable shield against cheaters." So the long story short is, don't be foolish enough to try to cheat in esports or any online video game such as Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Don't try to cheat in CSGO or in Counter-Strike or any game of that nature, because if you do, you're going to get caught and get punished. So don't be a foolish moron to try a stunt like that, because doing so, you're just going to get caught cheating, and the consequences are ouch. So this is William Armstrong signing out. I will see you next time. Bye bye.